Alabama Crimson Tide.
Off to the inside, intercepted Alabama, touchdown run.
And everything college and high school sports. Now, let's join Andy, Brett, Randy, and Luke for this edition of Sports Blitz Live.
Hello again, everyone, and good Tuesday evening. Welcome into the latest edition of Sports Blitz Live. We appreciate so much all of you out there being with us tonight. A lot to talk about. College football well underway. Big upset. Well, I don't know if it's a big upset, but
pretty big.
Certainly an upset as Texas goes in to Tuscaloosa and wins. You could say convincingly, a 10-point win for them. Probably the biggest. Well, I don't think there's any doubt. The biggest win of the weekend. Miami might make a case that they had a pretty big win as well. We'll talk about that.
That's not even the same area code. But
to them it is, but to everybody else probably not.
Well, that was a loser leave home match. You know what I mean? Loser leave town. Isn't that what the wrestlers used to do? That's what that was.
Yeah, that's true. Auburn goes to California and somehow or another ends up with more points than Cal. We'll take that victory, but we can talk about that one as well. A lot to talk about in the SEC around college football. New top 25 out, new top 10 out. About Florida State, number 3. Texas, number 4. Seeing some names up here we haven't seen in quite a while. So kind of interesting. High school football, always a topic of conversation in this area. Aaron Rodgers plays 4 plays. And now he's gone.
Yeah, and you know what makes a couple of things. I know we love to go over, and we definitely want to spend a lot of time on the college stuff. That's the most Jets thing that's ever happened. And, I mean, we all felt a sense of, really, I mean, I had some chills, honestly. The national anthem being sung, it's 9/11, it's in New York. Aaron Rodgers comes out with the flag. He plays 4 plays. He plays 75 seconds. And then that jerk Keith Olbermann is like, oh, he should have been vaccinated. Now, he was kind of teasing him. He was taking a shot at him. But that's just – why would everybody make everything political? The man tore his Achilles. He came back to play football to entertain us. Now, he also got a boatload of money. But I'm saying, who wants to see the Jets without Aaron Rodgers, knowing we could have had Jets with Aaron Rodgers? That would have been one of the coolest must-see teams in the league. Now they got Zach, what's his name, and nobody cares.
Yeah. Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson. I knew his name. I just think it's more impactful what I'm saying when I say what's his name.
I agree. I don't even know who that is, but I know
he played at BYU, and
is he the one that hit on his mom's friend?
Hit on his friend's mom.
His friend's mom. Oh,
yeah, he probably hit on his mom's friend too, but he hit on his friend's mom.
Split
he didn't.
The difference.
And hit on her is putting it loosely.
That's true.
But go ahead.
Okay. Well, Major League Baseball season winding down as well. U.S. Open, Novak Djokovic, number 24, cementing or concreting his legacy as the greatest of all time. Coco Gauff gets her first. 19 years old. Maybe the Americans are finally.
And and I'll tell you something that's funny. She had a speech afterwards talking about how, the haters fueled me and yada, yada, yada. And I get it, and that's what everybody says now. But frankly, I was like, have there been a lot of people saying Coco Gauff won't be good? I mean, I think everybody was like, she'll be pretty good. I mean,
yeah.
Now, if she's mad that people hadn't said you're going to be the next Serena or the next, I don't know, Evans, Chris, not Evans, Captain America, Chris Everett Lloyd.
Okay, Chrissy Everett.
Yeah, that's what Chris Evans. She might not be Captain America.
No, she probably.
But if she's mad about that, I mean, that's sort of silly to be mad about. I
think he prefers the flame.
Yeah, that's probably true. Oh, Human Torch.
Human Torch.
God, we both botched this so badly. But anyway, so I have a hard time understanding why everybody needs to talk about how much they thank their haters in a victory speech.
Well, I mean, whatever motivates you, I guess.
But, I mean, think about it. Think about Kansas City saying, nobody gave us a chance. Everybody gave you a chance. Georgia, nobody thought we could do it. Everybody thought you could do it.
Yeah.
It's okay. When you win as the favorite, that's really difficult to do because people are always gunning for you. And now she wasn't necessarily the favorite, but I mean, I think we all thought she was going to be pretty good. I'm thrilled to death for her. I love having an American female or an American tennis player, period, that we can cheer for. We don't have a lot of them.
Michael Jordan created a false narrative that some guy said something about, negatively about the Bulls just to motivate himself. And went out and embarrassed the poor guy.
That's right.
I mean, professional athletes, you do what you got to do, I guess. But anyway, all of that aside, again, a lot to talk about. But we'd love to hear from you. 256-234-6221 is our number here. You can also dial us up on the Sports Blitz Facebook page, YouTube, whatever you'd like, and comment away. We'll get to as many of those as we can throughout the show tonight. But I'll cede the floor to you. You were at the game in Tuscaloosa. It is it is kind of the talk, I think, and the talk of the moment anyway. What happened? What went wrong for Alabama?
Alabama got beaten on just about every level. There's no other way to say it. Again, I do a podcast called Locked on Bama and I picked Alabama to win 38-27. A lot of Texas fans came back and were like, "Hi, what do you think now?" I'm like, "I think y'all whipped us." I mean, I make predictions.
Think y'all won 34-24.
I think y'all whipped us, and I think it was worse than the 34-24. Frankly, I do. It's the worst home loss of Saban's career, points wise. You could make the case Louisiana Monroe was worse in terms of demoralization, but I would turn that around and say Louisiana Monroe probably helped set the tone for the next 15 years. I don't know what this is going to set the tone for, because what bothers me is some of the comments afterwards. Tyler Booker, who I love, I think he can be a fantastic football player. But he comes out and says, "Now we're pissed." Now, well, I thought y'all said that in the summer. And like, okay, now you are, that's fine. And you say, well, our generation has to deal with different things. I think every generation's always had to deal with different things. And if you can't get motivated to play then, and here's another thing I will readily admit.
So is he saying they weren't ready to play?
He was saying they weren't ready to play.
Okay. Who said that?
This is Tyler Booker.
Okay.
He was an offensive lineman. And look, clearly he's kind of right. I mean, they weren't ready to play. But my question is why? Why does that give you a pass? And, a lot of former players under Saban have come out, and I'm talking about just piled on this team. Like, this is bunk. Y'all can't do this. This is not the standard. Y'all quit talking about the standard until you play to the standard. And DeMarco Hellams, who was on the team last year and now with the Falcons, he came out and said, I don't think it's right for former players to say this, blah, blah. I'm with the former players. I really am. I mean, I think sometimes we've gotten too caught up in everybody's feelings, and you can't say, no, sometimes you need to be told, you're not doing good enough. And look, I understand I'm not there at practice every day. I'm not, and Saban has come out and defended the team, which is, he kind of does that after a loss anyway, but he's done it in a much more genuine fashion, which is scary to me, because you would think you'd be madder about this. But there were a couple of instances. Let me go back. There was one instance where Deontay Lawson, who I think is awesome, I think he has All-American potential. I think he definitely has NFL potential. He was pushed and being blocked well after the echo of the whistle. I mean, it should have been a flag. It happened right in the front of the official. Should have been a flag. I do not dispute that. There wasn't a flag. And so he was pushed to the ground. He sort of did like he threw his hands up, like looked around like there's no flag. And my first thought was, I wish that Texas player had done that to Rolando McClain, because we would be reading that boy's obituary right now. I wish he had done it to Reuben Foster, because if Reuben didn't get up in time to kill him, Jonathan Allen would have. There used to be an attitude about this team, and the edge is gone. Now, I don't know how quickly you get it back. Does it mean am I saying Alabama can't win out? Of course I'm not saying that. They've got enough talent to do a lot of things. But I'm certainly not predicting them to do that anymore. My attitude has certainly changed, because here's another problem I have. I have no problem admitting that the atmosphere in Tuscaloosa can be rather milquetoast at times. We can be a golf clapping type of school because we're used to beating everybody's brains in Tuscaloosa. That generally has happened for the last 16 years. This crowd wasn't that way. This is one of the best. I've been to national championship games. I've been to college football playoffs. I've been everywhere. I mean, I've been to Ohio State, I've been to USC, UCLA, Auburn, LSU, Georgia, Tennessee, South Carolina, all of them. The atmosphere Saturday was as good as I've ever been to. It was bananas. And the crowd was into it from the moment it kicked off. And the energy on the team didn't match. So I feel like, hey, we showed up. Saban always complains about us. We showed up, we did our thing. But Alabama just didn't. Now, I don't want to take anything away from Texas. They bullied Alabama, period. And I think people get it all mixed up when you try to talk about the faultings of your team versus what the other team actually accomplished. This is a show based in Alabama with mostly Alabama people watching, so I'm going to say what I think about the Alabama side, not the Texas side. Full congratulations, Texas. They beat Alabama's brains in. That's congratulations. And I think it was really good for them, and in a way, it was probably kind of fun for the college football world, so I get that. But in terms of Alabama's side, I am, for the first time in a decade and a half, I'm concerned about the direction because here's the other thing. It's like marketing. You know what they always say in marketing? Bud Light's learned this. One bad review, one bad advertisement, one bad marketing message will need to be made up for with 10 good ones. So if Alabama comes out and wallops South Florida, you know what everybody's going to say? Where was that last week? Or, yeah, that's South Florida. You're a 31-point favorite. You should do that. If they come out and beat Ole Miss, a good Ole Miss team who will probably be undefeated when they come into Tuscaloosa, people are like, yeah, you always beat Ole Miss. What else you got? Alabama, and the schedule is tougher than you think, but it's not as tough on paper. You think about Alabama gets Ole Miss at home. They're good, but people are going to say it's Ole Miss. They had never won the West. They've got to go to Mississippi State. They're good. They're loaded with seniors. They just beat Arizona this weekend. They might beat LSU this weekend, but Alabama always beats Mississippi State. They got to go to Texas A&M. They just got hammered at Miami. Never mind the fact that Jimbo seems to coach pretty well against Saban while he's been at A&M. LSU at home. People are going to be like, you got them at home, should beat them. Auburn on the road. People are going to be like, Auburn's not that great this year. Auburn's a hellhole for Alabama. So what I'm saying is there are a lot of pitfalls out there, and I don't know that this team is going to be able to overcome those. I would have bet on just about any other team up till this one. But I'm concerned. That's a long rant.
That's all right. That's a pretty good one. We got to take a break, but don't go anywhere. We'd love to hear from you, 256-234-6221. We'll be back with more right after this.
Sportz Auto Sales, Highway 280 in Kellyton, Alabama, is home-owned and home-operated. If you're looking for tires, they have it. If you're looking for a vehicle, they have them. Great selection. Always out looking for more just for you, the customer. And if you're looking for service, whether you buy the vehicle from them or whether you buy the vehicle somewhere else, they do service work and got a great crew there. Keep us in mind. Don't you go by Sportz Auto Sales on Highway 280 in Kellyton today.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill in Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life.
Russell Do-It Center and building supply stores have the tools and materials to get the job done right, whether you're a professional contractor or just a weekend do-it-yourselfer. With everyday customer conveniences like a drive-through lumber yard, price match promise, and our best rewards program, each of our 9 locations offer top brands and building materials like lumber, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. Visit today and see what Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply can help you build tomorrow.
Farmers and Merchants Bank of Dadeville is building a foundation of strength and trust in the entire Lake Martin community. With our modern branch in Dadeville and caring, attentive staff, we've established Farmers and Merchants Bank as a reliable friend to your banking needs. Whether it's just a savings or checking account or any commercial, auto, or real estate loan, Farmers has local decision-making to build a relationship with you and your needs. Farmers and Merchants Community Bank. Strength, service, community.
The coast is here. Wharf Casual Seafood is serving up all your favorites: shrimp and grits, po' boys, tacos, seafood platters, and so much more. Don't miss out on our famous loaded fried green tomatoes. Wharf Casual Seafood is located on Highway 280 next to Regions Bank.
Hello, I'm Karen Chanel, your State Farm agent in Alexander City, Alabama, and the greater Lake Martin area. I want to talk to you a little bit today about your discounts. How many of you are entitled to discounts that you may or may not be receiving? One of the easiest discounts on your homeowner's insurance is that of having a fire extinguisher. Coupled with a deadbolt lock and a smoke alarm, that gives you an automatic discount on your homeowner's policy.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice. Bice Motors.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you. Just getting started on this rainy Tuesday night all of a sudden. But we are glad that you are with us. Talking about Auburn, talking about Alabama at the moment. We'll talk about Auburn in a little bit. But Alabama falling to Texas, 34-24. I'll tell you, this is some of the things that I heard as an outsider, from friends on Sunday in the following days. Is one Alabama fan who I'm very good friends with, said, "Man, what in the world did y'all do to Kevin Steele? Y'all ruined him when he came to Auburn." Now, no, here's what people fail to realize, okay? And I had to remind him. I said, "Look now, y'all hired Kevin Steele in 2007, and he stunk, and you sent him on his way. Now he's a good guy, and I have no doubt that he knows football, and he was a horrendous head coach, but." What he came to Auburn at the perfect time because he took a horrendous defense and made them pretty good. We were never elite, but the gap from horrendous to pretty good is a big gap, and we got better, and you thought, okay, well, he can do that. But Kevin Steele's never been elite at anything in his life. So I don't know why people are surprised. Now, I got to admit, the receivers that were now Quinn Ewers made some fantastic throws. That's just bottom line.
And their receivers made some good catches.
He played really, really well. But there were guys wide open in the zone all night long. That's number one. Number two, they made a big deal about, and this has kind of been I'm not telling you this, but this has kind of been a problem for Alabama for the last several years, but all you heard about coming into the season and up to this, oh, man, this offensive line, they are huge. Well, on paper, you can't really tell the difference between big and strong and fat and slow. But when you play a good team, that you'll be able to see that difference.
I agree with you. And, in fact, that's something one of my cohorts, Jimmy Stein, pointed out. He said, Alabama's got two linemen over 370 pounds. Everybody kept talking about nobody in the NFL has that. Maybe there's a reason. We got a caller. Let's go ahead and take it. Caller, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, how you doing, Luke?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Who's starting quarterback?
It's going to be. I'm still going to place my money on Milroe and feel very unconfident about it. I think Tyler Buckner is probably going to take some snaps with the ones. Wouldn't shock me if he started. I would still lean Milroe because, look, here's the thing. Milroe has taken so much of a beating from fans after this game because that's what quarterbacks do. When you lose a game, you blame it on the quarterback, especially one that you haven't learned to love yet. But it wasn't all his fault. I mean, the play calling was a little questionable. The protection was god-awful. I thought the receivers did a pretty good job based on what they had to work with. But here, another
he
concern.
made some beautiful throws.
He made a couple of really nice throws. Especially the long touchdown to Burton was nice. But here's a very concerning thing, and I'll say this about Alabama and Auburn. Is it not concerning to you, Alabama and Auburn fan, that neither the Tide nor the Tigers has a running back or a running quarterback over 100 yards in 2 games? Nobody. There is not a player. The leading rusher for Auburn is like Robbie Ashford, I think. Or no, Damari Alston with 94 yards or 96 yards. And Milroe has 92 for Alabama in 2 games. That's it. And neither team, now Alabama played Texas, but they also played Middle Tennessee State. Auburn has not played like this ferocious run-stopping crew. It's very frightening to me as a guy that lives in this state, and I'm worried about it, definitely.
Chase, how many yards he get? McCollum.
He ran pretty well at the first of the game, and then it seemed like they went away from him a little bit.
Jace McClellan had 45 yards on 12 carries.
I think he's got about 90 yards on the year.
Yeah, no, he was a pretty good rusher last year.
He was okay.
McCollum was.
His
he had a big game against Texas.
He had an 80-yarder against Texas. But he's never really been a breakaway guy. You know what, I'll tell you, what I was really hoping for was a Tua Tagovailoa moment, meaning that after halftime.
Well, I put on a show.
Well, I was hoping that Alabama would come out with
44 yards passing.
Yeah.
That's what it did.
I was really hoping Alabama would come out with a lot of freshmen and say, okay, if the upperclassmen don't want to play well, here's Justice Haynes, here's Tyler Buckner, here's somebody, Richard Young, Yanzi Pierre, Keon Keeley, something. That never happened.
Even though they lost, Matt Jones put on the show.
I thought Mac Jones looked great for New England. I mean, especially considering what he has to work with. And Tua was unbelievable Sunday. I bought the Sunday ticket just to watch that game. Yeah, that was great.
I have him though with some fast wide receivers.
Tyreek Hill is a freak as a
Wallen Hill.
Yeah, Tyreek Hill was amazing.
Let me ask you one other question.
Okay.
That freshman that had a good spring game. I can't remember his name, but
what does he play?
Did he play in it? He played running back.
Oh, Justice Haynes. That's who I was talking about. I would have loved to have seen Justice Haynes get in there and maybe provide a spark because Roydell Williams and Jason McClellan, maybe it's the lineman's fault, whatever. Sometimes you got to switch something up and try something new. You know, the definition of insanity is trying the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. And I know the line wasn't performing well. I understand that. But maybe Justice Haynes comes in there and he gives you some tough yards you weren't getting out of the upperclassmen. Maybe. Again, we'll never know. It didn't happen.
Well, I got ESPN back, so but they're going to be on ABC. I said, now they're coming on ABC after ESPN came on.
I wish I had ESPN this past Saturday so I didn't have to watch it. That was a line from my brother. I stole it from him. It was good.
I looked at little Eli go, and it wouldn't. And I just I said, good night, Eli, and I went to bed about 9 o'clock.
Okay. I appreciate you.
It's good to talk to y'all.
Thank you,
Appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, I think a lot of people, wanted to just go ahead and go to bed after that one. And look, again, Texas is a good. Texas is actually a pretty good football team.
Let's give Sark some credit.
Absolutely, he thought he called a great game. Texas, you could see the plan, and that's what I've just so longed to see one day at my school. is the offense right there, and you can actually see a plan, and you can see it develop as the game goes along. And I don't know.
Give him credit for this. Alabama takes a lead. I swear, I'm in the crowd. Everybody's like, okay, now we got this. And what do? 3 plays, they score a touchdown. I think we face mask them on the first play where we tackled them for a loss. Yeah. Here's the thing. I refuse to rewatch losses, so I'm going based off my memory being at the game. But I think
did get the face mask, but it was real quick, and it was just.
But it was a tackle for a loss, if I remember.
Oh, yeah. But I'm just saying, you could have made an argument to say you could have let that go. Yeah. But
and here's the other thing. You know, one thing I said, Alabama's not going to have 15 penalties again. They didn't. They had 10. That's pretty awful at home.
That's true.
Now, granted, if you want to, I didn't get to see it again. It happened the opposite side of the field for me. And if you want to say the face mask is questionable, okay, I'm going to say that there's always a questionable call in there. You got to deal with it. You still don't have to give up you give up 3 more plays and they're in the end zone again. Then you dial up a pass play that is telegraphed, and it goes right back to them. So the other thing is Alabama fixed that problem where they hurt Texas quarterbacks. They fixed that. Just don't touch them.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
here's the thing to me. Jalen Milroe, you saw what he's capable of doing. He is a tremendous athlete. He's got a great arm. He's fast. He's all those things. But he's never going – I mean, that's who he is. A couple of times a game, he's either going to fumble or he's going to throw it right to the defender. That's just who he is. And if you can live with that and you can win games, that's fine. But when you run into a good team, those kind of things just
you
submarine.
could live with it when we had another version of that in Blake Sims because we had absolute dogs on defense. I mean, a team full of dogs. I don't know. Kool-Aid McKinstry was beaten twice in a row. Terrion Arnold was beaten badly several times. Caleb Downs didn't play well. Now, I heard he was a little sick coming into this. Alabama had some other guys, linebackers nicked up a little bit. I told you about Deontay Lawson getting pushed into oblivion. I mean, we need some dogs. And that's why I was saying in that national championship game against Georgia in 17-18, what Saban said was, all right, not only am I going to play 2, I'm going to put Alex Leatherwood in. He was a true freshman. I'm going to put Najee in there because I don't think any of these other, it's going to be, we're going to throw it to Judy and Ruggs and Devontae Smith, who were all true freshmen at the time. We're going to play those guys because these other guys ain't cutting it. Yeah. So, and I would have loved to have seen that to try it. You got to do something different. And we got another call.
I think let's take it on the other side of this break if we could.
You want to make them hold, Andy? That's the kind of person you are.
That's the kind of person. Just hang on just a second. Got to take a commercial break. We'll come back. We'll take your call first up. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more right after this.
Sign Source is your local vendor for commercial and residential sign manufacturing and installation. We offer all kinds of lighted and non-lighted signage, from retail signs, LED message centers, event banners, vehicle wraps, the whole spectrum. We also offer service and repair on existing signs, as well as retrofitting to LED or installation of outsourced signage. We have the knowledge necessary to fulfill all of your signage needs in the short or long term. Visit signsourcenow.com to get started.
Satterfield Outdoor Living is Lake Martin's trusted friend for your outdoor land and leisure needs. We're the region's authorized Skag mower dealer for residential and commercial lawns and offer all the small engine accessories you need with top lines of Steel, Echo, Shindaiwa, Husqvarna, and Metabo products that can tame any landscape. Satterfield is also your grill headquarters with Big Green Egg Grill, and our pros service everything in-house and back up all sales. Get the Satterfield Outdoor difference on Highway 280 right across from Tallapoosa Ford.
You want the best opportunity to be successful in life. You deserve that opportunity. Well, you just happens to be in our motto. Central to you, central to your success. Your future is right now. Don't wait. Make your dreams a reality by enrolling at Central Alabama Community College. Register today at cacc.edu.
Looking for an attorney you can trust for your real estate closings? Wisdom Law Firm at Lake Martin has you covered. Your real estate transactions are fast, convenient, and professional every step of the way. Wisdom Law is certified and licensed by the American Land and Title Association and approved by all local lenders. Visit Wisdom Law Firm at 6366 Highway 49 in Dadeville or at their Auburn location at 2353 Bent Creek Road. No communication concerning a lawyer's legal services shall be published or broadcast unless it contains the following language, which shall be clearly legible or audible as the case may be. No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Alex City Internal Medicine and Nephrology and Weight Loss Center provides optimum care for the whole person. Dr. Dimo Popov specializes in the prevention and diagnosis of high blood pressure, kidney disease, diabetes, and acute and chronic conditions. Our weight loss clinic offers lipo shots and a guide to healthy weight loss. Alex City Internal Medicine and Nephrology and Weight Loss Center, where lifestyle changes are made.
Hillaby Towers is an affordable senior citizens community located in Alexander City on Highway 22 East. Spacious one-bedrooms are available now. Great location, peaceful setting, comfortable living where pets are allowed and utilities are included. Call today to find out more information on Alexander City's best-kept secret, 256-329-0552. That's Hillaby Towers in Alexander City.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you, and we'll go right to the phone line.
Caller, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hello, Luke.
Yes.
Yeah, I heard all off season how Alabama was going to use the tight ends. I mean, what happened with that?
A tight end has scored in each of the first two games, so I'm not as down on that necessarily. I'm more worried about all offseason hearing about how the offensive line had improved because they did not show that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think the tight ends have been targeted.
One time they threw to them with shoulder,
I say that again, I'm sorry. Say that again?
I said we threw to them one time and they scored.
Yeah, you're right. Now, I would say that it is important to me that there have been two games and a tight end has scored each game. It's the same tight end and Amari Knobloch. And I think the better question is, okay, where is C.J. Dupree, who transferred in from Maryland? Where is Danny Lewis, who a lot of people have said good things about? Where's Robbie Utz, who, he can play the H too, so it's not really a tight end thing. But, yeah, it's a little concerning. I mean, again, it feels like we've been fed a lot of stuff and none of it is – come to fruition. And, after Middle Tennessee State, where the offense seemed to be humming and Jalen Milroe was playing very well, I mean, you think, okay, you overlook a few little things. One thing that is funny to me now, the snap that was so bad against Middle Tennessee that Alabama used for the first touchdown of the season, we should have taken that as an omen because the snaps were so god-awful. I mean, consistently. Yeah. And, I mean, they were tearing up turf. I don't know how the ball got back to him at the time.
2 false snaps.
I mean, I've never even –
I didn't even think they –
how do you do that?
I don't know.
But
you're supposed to know the count.
Yeah, and it's just again, I'm not calling for wholesale changes everywhere. I'm wondering, it felt like Alabama was treating this game like, hey, we're already in the 12-game playoff type atmosphere where, I mean, we're still in the 4-game mode and you got to win just about all of them. So I think it's certainly on Alabama's college football playoff opportunity is on life support, if you ask me. I mean, there'll be people saying I'm overreacting, but, sorry. Guess you let that go. But there'll be people saying I'm overreacting, but I don't think I am.
No, well, is it overreacting when there are other conversations literally on the national level and conversations that one of the first things I heard on Sunday was, I think it's about time for Nick to retire.
Okay.
Now, I mean,
that's a bit much.
There are actually conversations that are, who would be the number one candidate? Deion Sanders. I mean, I think we're getting ahead of ourselves a little bit.
I think we're over the top. And look, that's what we do. We overreact, right? I mean, that's what makes talking heads fun, is that you get on there and you say outlandish things, and then the next week comes around and you say the opposite outlandish thing, but just on the other outlandish side. The game hadn't passed Nick Saban by or any of that. Let's not get nuts. I mean, shoot, he just yesterday he picked up a commitment from Antonio Coleman. There's no relation to Auburn's Antonio Coleman. I was always wondering, but apparently there's not. And he's awesome. I love him. I mean, he's at Saraland. I thought he was fantastic. And so I was so excited to see that. And I was like, can he play Saturday? Because he's a defensive lineman. We may need one. But anyway, I think everything, again, can be fine. This team can still go on to do really – I mean, Tyler Booker said some things like, all our goals are still in front of us. That is very true. But I think Alabama needs to go back to, okay, we're literally going to focus on the next, not even the next opponent. We're going to focus on making Tuesday better than Monday and Wednesday better than Tuesday, and then just go out and try and play to our potential on Saturday. And if Alabama will do that, there are very few teams that can beat them. If they look ahead or if they're unfocused, whatever, there are a lot of teams that can beat them. So
as Alabama, I mean, if the team that I watched, and I didn't see hardly any of the first game, but just looking at the team that I saw Saturday night, they looked like an 8 or 9 win team.
I agree. In fact, so with our Locked On podcast thing, we have a national, so we have several Locked On channels, through the nation, and we all get to do our own little poll. And, it's not the AP poll, but I ranked Alabama 14th. I mean, everybody else got them top 10, 9, 8, 10, whatever. I'm like, guys, I got to be real. Do I think there are 13 other better teams in Alabama? Probably not. Do I think but at the same time, I don't think they've played like the 14th best team in the country, so I'm sort of meeting it in the middle.
Yeah, are there 13 better rosters?
Yeah. No.
Are there 13 better teams? Maybe.
Let me say this. I mean, I know a lot of teams that would have beaten Alabama on Saturday night. And that's at home. And again, that's a place Alabama doesn't lose very often. Nick Saban's lost there 9 times, 3 of them in his first year. Now, 9 times after this weekend. That's a pretty ridiculous record. Now, and as I told someone else, years down the road after Saban's retired, and if somebody's going back and looking at all this, and somebody's telling their grandchildren about it, like, they're going to be like, holy cow, Alabama only lost 9 games in 16 years in Tuscaloosa. That's in this run of the SEC, when SEC always had a national champion. And be like, yeah, that's ridiculous, right? But when it just happens, you're like, oh my God, everybody batten down the hatches. Here comes, Hurricane
like I can't
7 and
believe
5.
we lost 9.
Yeah. I mean, it's we're all overreacting, and that again for me. And I can't go Saturday because it's my daughter's birthday. She's only turning 7. I think when she gets to be 10, I can miss birthdays to go to things like this. But Saturday I'm going to go to her birthday, begrudgingly. No, I love my daughter. But I don't think South Florida is going to make me feel better. I don't care what we do. I mean, if we sort of slumber or still in our slumber and just, we're languid again out there, that'll bother me. But if we go out there and beat South Florida 52-10, I'm going to be like, we're going to have to do it.
South Florida's not good.
No, they've already lost to Western Kentucky. Yeah. Now, this is I've said it again.
It was a close game with Florida A&M, I think.
It was a 14-point game. Yeah. Now, this is let me tell you some interesting things I looked up, for this game. South Florida, first of all, they beat Auburn in 07. I totally forgot that. I had erased it from my...
Jim Leavitt.
Yeah. I had totally forgotten
in overtime.
In overtime. They almost beat Florida last year. They lost to them by 3. That may have been in overtime, but they lost to them by 3. They were the first team Mike Shula played as Alabama's coach.
Okay.
They also have just gotten the approval for like a $340 million on-campus facility. Because it's huge. I mean, their university's big.
Yeah.
It's like Central Florida,
they got 40,000, 50,000?
They got a bunch. Yeah. And here's the other thing, though, that's bad for them. I would argue that probably their best player from last year transferred to Auburn. Right? I mean, Brian Battie is in there. I don't know what he did against Cal.
Not much, but, yeah, he hasn't. He only had one.
But he had a return
one rush. But he
didn't have a lot of chance to return it. Nobody scored in the game.
This is true. Yeah, that's one of those things. Got to take another break. Don't go anywhere. We'd love to hear from you. 256-234-6221. We'll be back with more right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice. Bice Motors.
Hey, honey, it's Mom. Just wanted to call and check in, see how everything's going. You'll probably say not to worry. Everything is great. But we miss you. I'll call you back later.
Everything's great. I love it here.
This is Joseph Dean with Alabama Funeral Homes. As many of you are aware, we had a fire that significantly damaged our facilities. We are in the process of getting those rebuilt. We apologize for any inconvenience this may have caused the families that we serve. I want you to know that we are capable of handling all of your needs at Frederick Dean Funeral Home of Opelika, which will be servicing Alabama Funeral Homes families. We can be reached at our same number, 256-896-4502, or by email at joseph@alabamafuneralhomes.com.
You've dreamed about the perfect house, a place to call your own, and a place to not only stretch out, but to grow. Auto Owners protects your house because to you, it's home. That's simple human sense. Happy to help, man. I was just over there talking to myself anyway.
Frontline Outfitters provides all your aftermarket parts for your cars, trucks, and as well as your professional tinting solutions for auto, residential, and commercial buildings. Frontline Outfitters also handles vinyl wraps, spray-in bed liners, truck accessories, LED lighting, paint correction and detailing, and much more. Make sure Frontline Outfitters of Alexander City is your first call for tinting and aftermarket solutions. Call us today, 256-409-8100.
Hillaby Towers is an affordable senior citizens community located in Alexander City on Highway 22 East. Spacious one-bedrooms are available now. Great location, peaceful setting, comfortable living where pets are allowed, and utilities are included. Call today to find out more information on Alexander City's best-kept secret, 256-329-0552. That's Hillaby Towers in Alexander City.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sportz Blitz Live. Andy Graham, and Luke Robinson here with you till 9 o'clock tonight. Give us a call. Let us know what's on your mind, and we'll go back to the phone line.
Caller on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah, guys, I was just wanting to comment on the Alabama game. Luke, it just looks like Saban's not into it much anymore. I thought for sure in that game he would throw the headset on the ground, and his veins have been poking out of his neck like back in the day when he had those good teams. What do you think?
No, I'm with you, but at the same time, I understand the irony. If you remember back in the day, that everybody, at least people non-Alabama, were like, man, Saban's got to calm down. He's going to have a heart attack. You can't coach like that anymore with this new group. I think that's kind of maybe what they need. I mean, I was a little shocked at his press conference afterwards where he said everything is fixable. I think it's right. I think he's correct. But I think there was another tone that he could have used that I think Saban would have normally used. Like I said, I've been surprised by some of the other comments by the players. It just feels like that, I don't want to hear about how mad they are now. I mean, it's too late for that. You should have been, if you're going to get mad at halftime. I mean, because it wasn't good at halftime. So it's too late. I mean, again, turn it around is all relative. If Alabama only wins 10 games this year, it'll be sad. If they only win 9 games, it'll be an utter catastrophe. That's how everybody will take it. There are other teams in this country that if they get to 9 wins again, they will lose their minds in euphoria. So it's all relative, but I also understand that's the lament of being an Alabama fan. If you can't enjoy just a regular old 9-4, 10-3 season, because those aren't fun anymore. We've tasted too much success.
Yeah, when does his contract expire? Is it 27?
Boy, I've never even thought about that. I don't know that's ever been asked. I mean, I understand why it's asked. I'm just saying, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, Saban coached as long as Saban wants to coach. I'm trying really hard, even though I have overreacted this week, I'm trying really hard not to maintain that overreaction. I do want to understand that I'm not going to feel, South Florida's not going to make me feel better. I'm not sure Ole Miss is, or Mississippi State. Texas A&M might make me feel a little better. But let's just, I want to see these next few games and see if the demeanor changes at all. I want to see somebody get mean and get mad. And
what if they lose to Ole Miss?
If they lose to Ole Miss, I'm afraid the wheels will come off.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
I really am. And it could be one of those things. I don't think it'd be a losing record, but I think it could be bad. I think it could be like an 8-win team, which, woof.
If they do, have 8 or 9 wins, there's going to be some serious, I don't know what you would call it in Tuscaloosa, but also Miss Terry's whispering in his ear about the 17 million reasons we got to go to Florida,
I mean, I think Miss Terry does enjoy that. She also enjoys being in Tuscaloosa. I mean, there's no secret she really loves being in Tuscaloosa. And so I think that, again, you don't want to make harsh decisions and quick decisions based on something that happened a few days ago. That was hard to swallow. I mean, it was embarrassing. The mood walking out of there for all Alabama fans was like, wow. I mean, Texas fans sort of doing their hook 'em horns thing in your face, and you're like, yeah, you got us. I mean, nobody was getting really mad. I mean, I felt like some Texas fans were trying to push buttons, but I think for the most part, Alabama fans were like, yeah, you got us. I mean, at least the fans I was walking with, that's how it was. They were like, yeah, we want to say something back, but we can't. We just got our butts kicked.
Yeah, those saying actions speak louder than words.
Yep.
I've been paying more attention closely to Saban's reactions on the sidelines here lately.
I agree with you. And let's just, my only advice, and again, it seems kind of wild to say this, just hang in there and let's see how these next few games play out before anybody jumps off a bridge. That's the way I'm looking at it right now.
Hey, I agree with you, man. I love y'all show. Keep up the good work, guys.
Appreciate you, bud.
Look, despite or in contrary to some people's opinion, Nick Saban is a human being. And I don't care who you are. I don't care. You get to this certain age and you don't act the same way you did.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just nature. It's just humanity.
But he hasn't shown – now, he has shown the humanity off the field and the Knicks kid stuff, whatever, but he hadn't shown that on the field until these last couple of years, and it's been increasingly –
I mean, he hasn't even yelled at a reporter in –
I know.
A record amount of time.
Maria, the last time he really had that was Maria Taylor, and that was after the Louisville game. That was a while back. But I also think it's interesting to say that now Alabama's been in national championship games and won national championship games since that Maria Taylor thing. But the Maria Taylor game, which was the Louisville game in Orlando, the year after Alabama had beaten Georgia for the national championship, and Tua is your starting quarterback. Now, I love me some Tua Tagovailoa. I mean, I just adore him. And then you have Mac Jones, Mac Jones is tough, but he's not like Jake Coker tough. He's a little more flair and finesse. Then you have Bryce Young, who's all like elusiveness and flair and finesse. And I'm wondering if like our quarterback play has rubbed off on the rest of the team. Because we see that all the time. A lot of times with Oklahoma, a lot of times with USC, teams like that have these quarterbacks that are just they're awesome when everything's going awesome, or when everything's even just going pretty good. But when you put some pressure on them and rubber meets the road, things can get rough. When the rubber met the road for Jake Coker, that's when he got good. That's when he was lowering his shoulder and he was going to take you on. When the rubber even for Greg McElroy, that's the guy who's face-to-face with Tim Tebow in what was supposed to be a storybook ending, and he's tiptoeing down the sideline, sacrificing his body trying to get to a first down. I mean, those were some tough dudes, and so I would love to see that was one thing that, again, this wasn't what I was going to rant about, but Milroe, for this huge, gigantic Adonis of an athlete, there were a couple times where I felt like, hey, he could have gotten a few extra yards if he cuts inside instead of going to the sidelines. I know he's a quarterback. I know quarterbacks talk, don't get hurt. But he's bigger than that dude.
Yeah.
Go show him.
Up against another break. We'll be back with more Sports Blitz Live right after this.
It's truck season at Sarah Automotive. New Honda Ridgelines, $349 a month. Ford Rangers, $357 a month. Nissan Frontiers, $379 a month. And Chevrolet Silverados, $399 a month. At Sarah Automotive. Plus, you get a lifetime warranty, no charge, engine, powertrain, and more. It's truck season at Sarah Honda, Tony Sarah Ford, Sarah Nissan, and Sarah Chevrolet.
Whether it's Lake Martin, Lake, or Logan Martin, boaters from all over the state of Alabama come to Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama, because it's worth the drive. With the best deals on unbeatable Suzuki outboards, Manitou and Landau tri-tunes, and a great pre-owned inventory while they last. Alex City Marine is the pros the locals know. And no matter where you're from, when you're here, you're local to us. Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama. AlexCityMarine.com. You don't have to ask who, what, or why. Who's Diner is the go-to place for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Conveniently located at the corner of Highway 22 and 280 in Alex City. Who's Diner offers the best meals and the best deals in town. Try our fresh, made-from-scratch pancakes, chicken salad, Philly cheesesteak, or the Who Burger. It doesn't get any better than who? Who's Diner, of course, on the corner of Highway 22 and 280. Who's hungry? The same professionals you've trusted with your urgent care is now your primary health provider. Main Street Family Care. We provide annual physical exams as well as monitoring health conditions such as high blood pressure, diabetes, asthma, and more. All major insurances accepted. Medicaid, Medicare, and have self-pay options to accommodate everyone. See us in Alex City, just across from Walmart. Your care is our primary concern.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Heal better, feel better fast.
Lewis Pest Control is now serving Alexander City and the entire Lake Martin area. They've been family owned and operated for over 60 years. Whether it's residential, commercial, or industrial, Lewis has environmentally safe products for all your pest control needs. Lewis Pest Control.
Lay your best to rest. Call the best. Lewis Pest Control.
Let Riverbank and Trust open doors for you. Whether you're purchasing land, a lot by the lake, or building or buying a home, begin with Tallapoosa County's loan experts. They'll guide you through the entire process, providing local decision-making, prompt responses, and the best real estate loan solutions for your unique needs. And in most cases, Riverbank and Trust can close your loan in 30 days or less, and they'll walk by your side every step of the way. It's all just part of the Riverbank and Trust difference. We invite you to experience it for yourself.
Welcome back, everyone, to the final segment in the first hour of tonight's show. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us. Again, Andy and Luke here with you until 9 o'clock this evening. There were actually some other games that took place this weekend besides Texas and Alabama. Auburn and California were one of them. It was going into the game, I think everybody kind of expected it would be a little bit more of a high-scoring game. I predicted 41-27 Auburn. That did not happen. I don't know quite, it was just an extremely ugly game. You talked about the lack of rushing yards. A big reason for that, Auburn actually got some drives going, but then they would turn the ball over. 4 turnovers in this game. They had about 7 or 8 penalties themselves. It was
how many missed field goals by Cal?
3 missed field goals by Cal. All of them in the 40-yard range, in between 40 and 47 or something like that. Bad field goal kicker. That's on them. That's not my problem, but that's on them. You just start the game with Peyton Thorne and Cal got screwed there. They should have got 7 points. He ended up with 3. So that cost them 4 points. The referees cost them 4. It was a bizarre play. It's hard to blame the official he blew the play dead. I just kind of one of those things. But outside of that, I think we gave them 3, they gave us 7 by turning the ball over. Outside of that, it turned out Auburn beat them 7-3.
That game, what I was going to rant about earlier was.
Oh, yeah.
So, earlier that day, I think Philip Marshall, who used to write for the Huntsville Times, I think he writes for 24/7 now, he loves to always bring this up. He always goes, I don't understand why teams like Alabama and Ohio State and USC and Oklahoma and Georgia get all this free publicity all the time. This game day in Tuscaloosa is like a free commercial. It's just not fair to all the other teams. Auburn and Cal have a showdown. Philip, when teams are the good teams, they're going to get the press. That's the way it is. Colorado has more press than anybody right now. Because you know why? They're interesting. They're doing interesting things. Auburn has not, he's really talking about it. Auburn has not been interesting. It's been interesting to us in this state because we know. But it's not moving the meter. Now, it might start moving the meter when Hugh Freeze wins. And when he does, Auburn will get game day again. And guess what? It'll be a day-long commercial for Auburn, too. When Auburn was when 2010, 2013, game day was there. The kick six is shown ad nauseum. The prayer in Jordan Hare is shown ad nauseum. That's what happens. If you're good or interesting, you're going to get the press. If you're not good and not interesting, nobody cares. And nobody cares. This is how much people care about Cal. They are not in a conference right now.
Yeah.
So, again, they are, but they aren't. They're in limbo.
Yeah.
So,
well, I think there were about 44,000 people to watch that game. And that's
a nice crowd for them.
That's in California.
In fact, what they said was...
And you know what? 10,000 of those were Auburn fans.
Exactly. And because we care more here. And we've said that all along.
Yeah.
Now, my point is, I get so irritated when people say that the Blue Bloods get all the love. Because, see, that's the foundation from which college football is built. Guess what? Auburn gets more press than Mississippi State. You know why? Auburn's a better program. And I don't mean that to hurt our Mississippi State listeners' feelings. Am I wrong?
No, that's a fact of life.
It's so bothersome because all you have to do is look at Colorado. If Auburn had hired Deion Sanders, do you know that I bet you game day might have, now they wouldn't have been, but they would have thought about going to Auburn, Cal. They would have thought about it. And I can guarantee you they'd be at Auburn, Georgia, 100%. Now, they may still be there if Auburn wins as undefeated there. But I'm saying if you're interesting, people watch. If you're not interesting, people don't watch.
I'm glad that wasn't a showcase. I'd be
No, it didn't need to be. Look, it turned out it certainly did not need to be a showcase. But my point is, I just get so irritated by that because there were so many people who agreed with him in the article. I was like, do y'all not get it? I mean, and he kept saying this, more like football and evenly distributed. I'm like, you think football's evenly distributed? You think the Cleveland Browns feel like they get as much attention as the Dallas Cowboys? If the Cowboys are awesome, they get all the love. If the Cowboys are terrible, they get all the hate. And if they're in between, people are like, why aren't you either one of the other ones?
Yeah.
So I mean, life's just kind of unfair sometimes about this because some brands are bigger than other brands and it's not going to change. But what you can do to make up for that is hire a Deion Sanders, which Colorado has done, and they have become the most must-watch thing there is in college football right now. And they're fine. They've got 2 dudes, but they're not great.
Yeah, I mean, look, Nebraska's not very good. And that game was really tight. And in Nebraska, the only reason they weren't leading at halftime is because they are so self-destructive. So, I mean, Colorado took control in the second half, but that was because Nebraska just kind of ran out of gas. But, Colorado's going to run into – they're not going undefeated.
Well,
Let's just say that.
Are they at Oregon not this week but next week?
I'm not sure. I admit
they've got Colorado State this week. Yeah. And that's a fun game that – like normally, it's usually a fun rivalry game anyway.
Yeah.
That's kind of like, I really want to see that.
I don't really have much desire to watch that.
Well, also say this.
I did watch Colorado, Nebraska, though.
This is a bad week of football again.
It's not good. Yeah.
It's just a bad week. I mean, but that's fine. I mean, we probably all need a little break, but it's a bad week of football.
Well, Alabama does go on the road to South Florida. South Florida's not good. They're 1-1. That one 2:30 on ABC.
LSU, Mississippi State?
Yeah, they're LSU, Mississippi State. How about Georgia Tech at Ole Miss?
How about Tennessee at Florida?
Tennessee at Florida. I mean,
okay.
All of a sudden, now, yeah, we'll get to that. I mean, Brett and I talked about this a couple of weeks ago, and I said, you know, look, there are – we all talk ourselves into a lot of stuff, but there are signs. We tend to ignore them. If they work out well for the program or if they point to good things, we embrace them. If they don't, we explain them away. But there are signs that we look back on in the beginning of seasons, and you go, yeah, I probably should have seen that 7-5 or 8-4 season coming. 13-6 at the half against Austin Peay. That's a sign. I'm not saying Tennessee's going, win 7 games this year, but that's a sign.
I'm 100% with you, and I keep hearing people say, Joe Milton can throw it 80 yards. That's fine. Do you have enough time for somebody to get down there 80 yards?
Yeah.
The throwing it, can he throw it 10 yards? That's what I want to know accurately.
Can you throw it 80? That's fine. Can somebody catch it? Is he throwing it to another human being? I mean, those kind of things are kind of important. So a lot of things happen in the SEC. We'll talk about those in the second hour, which is coming right up. Auburn and Samford on Saturday night. This one on, I think, ESPN Plus. I don't even think this is on SEC Network Plus. So Andy's going to be listening to this one on the radio, I think.
And stupid old Luke thought that if you have the ESPN somebody told me you can't just get the ESPN. I don't know. I don't even know how any of the streaming stuff works anymore. The charter thing has me befuzzled. I mean, I'm just I don't even know anymore what I have. I had to buy YouTube TV because I got to watch NFL. I'm going to tell you what, I've always said that I love the college game more. I probably always will love the college game more. The NFL was flat awesome this weekend. God, it was so good. Oh, it was good. I mean, Sunday night was a dud, but last night, how can you not enjoy last night? Aaron Rodgers is a Jet for 75 seconds, and they come back and win in overtime on a punt return. That's so college-like.
True. That a kid from, Stephen F. Austin?
Stephen F. Austin, undrafted rookie free agent.
How about that? All right, we got to take a break, but never fear. We'll be back with hour number 2 of Sports Blitz Live right after this.
Truckloads of fresh inventory are rolling in to Glenn Smith Chevrolet in Opelika. Check out the powerful new Chevrolet Silverado 4-wheel drive crew cabs discounted up to $9,500 off. The exciting 24 Chevrolet Equinox as low as $369 per month. The popular Chevy Traverse discounted up to $6,000 off.
Get your best price every day at Glenn Smith in Opelika on the lot or online at glennsmith.com. Get ready to smile.
The Alabama Slammer. It's a popular drink at parties, but drink too many and you'll wind up in this Alabama Slammer. And if you drink and drive, get ready for a real Alabama Slammer. If you're involved in a crash where a driver's been drinking, you're 4 times more likely to die.
Drive safe, Alabama. A message from your Alabama Department of Transportation.
There's only one clear choice in the Lake Martin area for plumbing, heating, and air. That's All Clear Plumbing and Air. Our professionally trained technicians offer full service repair and installation on all major brands. From drips to water heaters, thermostats to entire air conditioning and heating systems, and everything in between. Our fast, reliable, and guaranteed top-notch customer service will keep you informed and up to speed through the entire process. Call us today or look for us on Facebook and Instagram at All Clear Plumbing and Air, 256-496-2056. License number 19172.
If you haven't been to Big B Barbecue in Alex City, then you're missing the best barbecue around. Big B has everything from the best pulled or chopped pork, chicken, and beef to cheeseburgers and grilled chicken salads. Bring your friends and family out for a great dinner and sit outside on our beautiful patio, or sit inside and enjoy your meal by the fireplace. So come in and join us and enjoy the best barbecue in the area only at Big B Barbecue, located on Highway 22 West in Alex City.
Hi, this is Jimmy Gorey at Gorey's Furniture. Come join us for the madness of March. Come join us here at Gorey's Furniture. Make a purchase, shoot from the line, 5, 10 to 15. That's % discount off your total ticket. So come join us. Let's have fun. Everyone's a winner. Everyone will save. Come join us for the madness of March, and that's only at Gorey's Furniture.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice. Bice Motors.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live on this Tuesday evening. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us tonight. I am Andy Graham alongside Luke Robinson, and we'll be with you until 9 o'clock. We're brought to you each and every Tuesday evening by JR Sports Bar and Grill. Wonderful place to have lunch or dinner right here in Alexander City. The great people, great atmosphere, great food there. I believe they're coming up on their 25th anniversary.
God, it seems longer than that, though.
Yeah, well, maybe it's in this location. I don't know.
Because there was a JR's in the old,
in the old
above the
shopping
Goo
center.
Goo car wash thing.
Yeah, there you go.
But I don't think that's the same people.
I think that's where it started.
Yeah.
Yeah, JR's Wings and Things. You remember that?
There's a great story
but
about that.
anyway.
I should tell you. I'm not sure if I should tell it. If I get halfway through it, tell me if I should stop.
That's okay.
I was talking to a friend of mine, and
Go get a meal at JR's.
he was. I know this is the other JR's.
Sports
by the way.
Bar and Grill.
Seriously, this is the other JR's. This was a long time ago, and this friend of mine was with a rather homely lass, not the most attractive woman I've ever seen. And somebody said, "You can't have already drunk that much." Like, she's sitting right there. I'm in disbelief. He goes, "Give it time," as he turned a beer up. And everybody seemed okay with it. And I was like, this is horrible. This is before things.
This is the most, that sounds like something out of The Office.
It
or
was
something.
offensive on so many levels to everybody.
My goodness.
It went down a little different verbally.
I don't remember. I remember, the only thing I remember about that, and this is, we're way off base here now, but bringing things up, when it was over there, they had a waitress that was so, and somebody said that she was in a Billy Ray Cyrus video or something, or there was some kind of connection with her and Billy Ray Cyrus or something. I don't know, but wow, I do remember that quite vividly. She was the your friends date that evening. But anyway, we digress from oblivion back to sports. But thank you so much for all of you out there being with us. Also brought to you each and every Tuesday night by Sunshine Heating and Air. For all your heating and cooling needs, give them a call today. That's Kevin Keel and his great crew.
One other story that I had to
I'm
tell.
afraid to ask.
No, this one's different. So the Jets played the Bills last night, right? And I remember many moons ago, the Jets were playing the Bills on Monday Night Football. And this is, I think I wasn't even in high school yet. I couldn't have been because I was still at home, and I was watching with my father, who may have had a couple of glasses of wine. And may have. And we were sitting there watching this football game, and he comes to the astute conclusion that, if I went out there for one play, nobody'd know the difference. I said, not till the ambulance came. Then they would know.
To play what?
To play football. He said if you just went out there and played one play at any position, nobody would know the difference. And I said, they would 100% know the difference, and we might not be able to recognize you after the play.
Maybe a referee?
I think, have you seen the referees? They're jacked.
Well, not that old dude that got run over.
Yeah, that's right.
But anyway, That's not a good. Yeah.
No, I said, Dad,
that's like one of those things. Yeah.
He's brilliant on so many levels. I said, that's just not true. There's no way. I mean, you can't just go out there in a football uniform. You know, who's this Robinson checking in?
Maybe in a junior, maybe in a high school game, you might be able to get away with that.
Look,
No?
let me tell you this. If I went out there, I'm in relatively good shape. But as a 50-year-old man, if I went out to the Benjamin Russell Calera game or whatever from this past Friday, they would have an empty seat with a rose in my chair in memoriam to Luke Robinson. There's no way you could play, especially today's game. Have you seen these kids?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, if you ran at each other, they go, "My God, kids, there's no way he's a sophomore." Good Lord, the guy's a giant. All right, let's get back to actually. Let's get serious, Luke.
Okay.
Texas A&M traveled to Miami, and the Bobby Petrino experiment was on full display.
It was.
Now, the offense was not really the problem. They put up 33 points. They had 433 total yards. Nah. Weidman was
fine.
They threw the ball 53 times, but two touchdowns, 2 picks. But boy, the defense, I thought they had loaded up on defensive players.
I think Texas A&M is going to be.
Is Miami that good?
No. Unfortunately for Alabama and Auburn, I think Texas A&M is going to be the kind of team that's going to play very well at home and not so great on the road. That's what I think. And I feel like they'll feed off that energy. And it's really hard to feed off of any energy when you're playing Miami because their crowd was fine, but it wasn't full.
Oh, no. They don't even fill up the upper deck.
Right.
Any part of it.
So, I mean, I just don't think – I think the Texas A&M is going to be what they've been, and they're going to be an 8-4-ish-esque team.
You were not that impressed with Miami?
Nah.
They made considerable strides from last year.
Yeah, but I'm still not – I mean, do I think Miami's going to make any
You don't
waves?
think they're a threat to –
beat Florida State or Clemson?
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, you better believe they're a threat to beat Clemson. They might not be a threat to beat Florida State.
Miami will find a way to boof it up.
You don't – okay.
I feel like, again, and I may eventually be wrong, just like I was wrong on Deion Sanders getting hammered by TCU. And when they do that, okay, I'll become a believer. Just like I was wrong picking Alabama to beat Texas. When I always said when Alabama gets beat at home badly by somebody, I'll pay attention. They finally did. I'm paying attention. But you got to do it first.
Yeah.
I mean, beating Texas A&M at home is not super impressive. This is not a great program right now. They have got a lot of dudes that will be on NFL rosters, but they've got sort of a lingering problem that Alabama has had on a very short-term basis. They ain't got anybody, any alpha dogs stepping up. Where's the leader? Where's somebody that's going to get in their face and say, you either start playing this well or I'll get somebody to play that well? They don't have that.
No. Ole Miss traveled to Tulane. This was a very close game. Tulane looked like they were in control at times, even into the second half, but Mississippi State, Ole Miss kind of pulls away late. They get a pick, a fumble, I think, scoop and score. That kind of made it look like it was it was 17-point win, which made it look bigger than it was actually.
Yeah, I'm with you. And Tulane was up without its starting quarterback. Kudos to Ole Miss to go into Tulane to play.
Ole Miss 1 of 13 on third down.
Yeah. And they went for it on fourth a few times, if I remember right.
Got it 3 of 3.
But I appreciate Ole Miss is going to Tulane. I think that's kind of cool. Those two teams have played a lot. I think those two teams played more than they've played Alabama and Auburn. I think. So, because Tulane was in the SEC until like 1965, and so I think that's a cool little thing Ole Miss should do. And I've always said, like, that's who Ole Miss needs to play. If you want to gain a little bit more respect, go play Tulane, go play them there. Play Memphis, which they've done recently. Go do some of those things, and then work your way up. You don't have to start off playing Ohio State because, number one, Ohio State's not going to take your call. But if you'll, garner some national attention with games like this and get credit for it, then eventually you'll work your way up.
Quinshon Judkins not really doing much to kick off.
You hate to say sophomore slump because it's too early.
Yeah.
I'd still take him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Could it have something to do with Jake Thornton leaving Ole Miss, going to the offensive line coach, going to Auburn?
Maybe.
We'll see. They ain't like Auburn's, you know. They ain't like they were
They didn't blow people off line
against
either.
California, but they look pretty good against UMass. We got to take a break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more of Sports Blitz Live right after this.
Talladega Outdoors in Talladega is your authorized Kawasaki sale and service center. Your home for Bad Boy mowers and Kimco scooters, four-wheelers, and side-by-sides. Rather for hunting, land management, or recreation, they have the ride for you. But they are also everything outdoor with full lines of accessories and is now your Ariat workwear and boot store, along with kayaks and outdoor accessories. Talladega Outdoor, Highway 21 in Talladega. Everything outdoor and Alabama's #1 Kawasaki dealer.
Life is a sequence of little successes. The story of my Southern Union success began the day I walked on campus, making new friends, mastering a new skill, reaching a personal goal, the encore performance, the first date, the internship, and now, soon, the dream job. That's the story of my Southern Union success. Register for classes and get ready to watch your Southern Union story come to life.
If you're tired of the same old and you're hungry for something really good, then it's time to go to JR's Sports Bar and Grill. JR's has the best fingers and wings around, and their menu is loaded with appetizers, burgers, salads, and so much more. Follow JR's on their Facebook to keep up with their live music events and drink specials. And if after a long day you just want to stay in, remember JR's delivers. Call in your order at 256-329-2328. JR Sports Bar and Grill, 145 Alabama Street in Alexander City.
They say we live in an age of big data, where computers and fancy algorithms are supposed to know you best. But at Country Financial, we know helping you own your future requires, well, something much bigger. Contact your local Country Financial representative and start planning for your future with a personal touch.
When you need an automotive hero, you got to call S&S Discount Tire Pros. With locations in Alexander City and Dayville, we are here to serve you today. From quick services like oil changes and tire rotations to in-depth automotive repairs such as suspensions, brakes, and tune-ups, S&S can take care of all your tire needs. You just have to focus on what's important and love the drive. Call S&S Discount Tire Pros today. We are automotive heroes, and we are here to serve you.
Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika. The new full-size GMC Sierra 4x4 Crew Cab discounted up to $12,000 off. The popular GMC Terrains up to $6,500 off. Shop online anytime at glennsmith.com. That's GLYNN Smith.com. Plus, no payments till 2024 at Glenn Smith GMC.
Over 250 new and used vehicles on the lot or on the way to Glenn Smith and Opelika. Get ready to smile.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you. Only 45 more minutes left in tonight's show. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us. 256-234-6221. Let us know what's on your mind. Give us a call or dial us up on the Sports Blitz Facebook page. That's Sports with a Z, and comment away. Looking around the SEC, Arizona travels all the way across the country to Mississippi. They take care. The Bulldogs win that one in overtime, 31-24. Looking at the numbers, I mean, Arizona outgained Mississippi State. They look like they played pretty well, but there's one glaring statistic. 5 turnovers for the Wildcats, only 1 for the Bulldogs, 4 picks. So that'll, considering this ended up in overtime, you have to think, wow, Mississippi State was kind of fortunate to get this.
Very fortunate. But again, the SEC's kind of been taking it on the chin, right? I mean,
it was not a banner weekend.
And if it sounds like Cal and Arizona came this close to winning, And boy, if that had happened, you would have heard some SEC mocking like you wouldn't believe. How many? I mean, in Georgia, because Georgia plays nobody, so our heaviest heavyweight right now doesn't even get a shot to, take a shot. Alabama to Texas.
Our old pal James Mopalika referred to the SEC as a Rudy Poo League today or yesterday on the Auburn Blitz, and it's hard to.
The term Rudy Poo is used all too often these days, Andy.
It's hard to disagree with that. At least after this weekend.
I'm gonna get a shirt with Rudy Poo on it.
But anyway, Will Rogers. Like you said, I mean, this is the biggest. I guess irony is not the right word, but it fits. I think Will Rogers, 13 of 17, only for 162 yards. And yet Mississippi State's able to rush, and they've got maybe the leading rusher in the SEC, coming off of what they've been for the last couple of years. So, but they get it done. They get the win. A win's a win's a win's a win. So.
Obviously you take the win. I don't think the win should cover up the fact that there are concerns.
Yeah,
I'm talking about league wide. I mean, Vandy hammered by Wake.
There were some battles that went on. Tennessee was in a battle with Austin Peay. It was 6-6 for quite a while, and Tennessee scored late in the second quarter to make it 13-6 at the half. Now, I mean, they had a pretty nice, ended up with some pretty nice offensive numbers, but they had 10 penalties themselves and a turnover, 3 of 12 on third down. So I don't know what really to take from that. It's not good. Let's just say that.
It is not
for
good.
the Tennessee Volunteers. They can be happy to be at home and to be in a battle like that they didn't think they were going to be.
Again, a win's a win. Same thing with Kentucky.
Yeah, they play in Eastern Kentucky. That one was a lot closer. That 11-point win, 28-17. 311 total yards to 414. So, it was. I guess it was. Well, I didn't watch any of the game, but apparently the Leary kid,
Devin Leary.
Yeah, Devin Leary, not making the difference maybe that they thought he was going to.
Yeah, in fact, where are all the transfer quarterbacks? Okay, so Alabama with Buckner, he hadn't even really played yet. Leary not really moving the meter. Peyton Thorne's been okay, but they basically used a two quarterback system on Saturday. Who else transfer quarterback wise? In the SEC, hit me somebody. Not South Carolina. Well, I mean, even though South Carolina's happened last year, I'm talking about starter for this year. So I mean, I guess those are the three that probably jump to the forefront. Well, Florida and Graham Mertz.
Yeah.
But it's not exactly setting the world on fire.
Yeah. And Mertz didn't really do a whole lot.
We have another call.
Okay.
Loaded up today. Caller on there. Go ahead.
Hey, what's up, man? War Eagle.
What's up? How you doing?
I'm all right. Hey, the guy that y'all got, Antonio Coleman,
Mm-hmm.
is he kin to the one that went to Auburn?
He's not.
None?
Apparently he's not. I wondered. It seemed like too much of a coincidence. Both of them from Mobile. Both of them named Antonio Coleman. But apparently he's not.
Wow. That's tripping me.
Yeah, I like him a lot, though. He's a heck of a player. He really stood out on the game that was on national TV against Lipscomb Academy out of, I think, Nashville. That they have Deuce Knight, the really good quarterback, and they have a kid who plays defensive back committed to Tennessee, and he just stood out to me. I mean, he was a wrecking ball.
Yeah. So I was just wondering, what do y'all think about the season so far?
Andy, you go ahead.
Well, I still believe, despite the lethargy at California, that this Auburn offense has got some potential to get better. I'm actually very pleased with the defense so far. I think they've exceeded my expectation, but it's still very early. We won't know really anything till we go on the road at Texas A&M, but that win at Cal, ugly as it was, it puts Auburn in a great position because it essentially guarantees you 4 wins. And if you can figure out how to win 3 of these SEC games, then, hey, you've won 7 games, and I think that was the goal coming into the year, and everything else is gravy.
Yeah. What's that player, the player that had so many tackles for us? What was his name?
Eugene Asante?
Yes, man. He's a dog.
He is. He looks like a SEC linebacker. That's been a while.
Yeah, man. All right, brother. I appreciate y'all. Y'all keep on what y'all doing, man. Good luck to you too, brother.
All right, appreciate y'all. Thank you. Appreciate the phone call.
All right, bro.
See you.
Take it easy.
Why in the South, and I do this, and then when I say it, when one person says something, I'm like, appreciate y'all. But, I mean, I think he knows, like, in the moment, he's representing several callers.
That's right. Yeah.
And so, I mean, I'm like, I appreciate all y'all.
Well.
But, I mean, there's a, how do you spell y'all?
Y-L-L.
Yeah. I've seen people on Facebook do Y-U-A-L-L. That's too close to you all.
Yeah, it's true.
It's y'all.
It's y'all. Yeah. I didn't know you could do it any other way.
I didn't either. I
even get fancy and put the apostrophe.
You got to get fancy. I mean, come on, we're not Neanderthals.
It's true. All right, we got to take a break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Sports Blitz Live right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
Planting season is here, and the Potting Shed Garden Center is happy to give you professional landscaping advice when it comes to planting your shrubs and trees. Auburn's best kept secret will have it all this fall. Mums, pansies, pumpkins, and much more. All in an array of colors and sizes, along with beautiful pots and containers, indoor plants, and a great selection of other gardening gifts. It's all at the Potting Shed Garden Shop, where natural elements reign supreme. Located on the corner of Moore's Mill and Society Hill Road in Auburn.
Have you stopped by Lifesavers Mission Thrift Store lately? If you haven't, you should. You'll find great pieces for your favorite do-it-yourself project. Lightly used name brand clothing by Free People, North Face, Matilda Jane, Patagonia, and a whole lot more. And while you're there, don't miss the shoes, decorative pieces, classic and new books, and Auburn and Alabama gear that won't cost you a fortune. So stop and shop at Lifesavers Mission Thrift Store today for a unique thrift experience that won't break the budget. Lifesavers Mission Thrift, located on East University behind Zaxby's.
Lake Area Realty specializes in Lake Martin real estate. They can help simplify your next real estate purchase or sell, and have helped many home buyers and sellers through the area buy and sell real estate with precision. Lake Area Realty utilizes powerful marketing tools and knowledge of the lake to help you with your next move. Call your local hometown agency today, Lake Area Realty, at 256-825-4800. That's 256-825-4800. Lake Area Realty, helping you find your way home.
Hi, this is Andrew McGreer at Dunning Roofing. At Dunning Roofing, we specialize in high-quality, premium roofs. We don't build roofs that just meet code requirements. We build quality roofs with premium materials that significantly exceed our competitors' warranties. We put money on your roof, not in our pockets. If you're looking for a top-quality roof, call Dunning Roofing today for your free quote at 256-307-7601 or visit us at DunningRoofingAL.com for more information.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you. Only a couple of more segments or a few more segments left in tonight's show. We appreciate so much all of you out there and the phone calls, the messages as well. We'd love for you to be a part of the program each and every week. Luke, like you said, Georgia rolled. LSU feels a little bit better.
No,
about
wait a minute.
themselves.
Georgia rolled, but it took a while to get rolling.
It did, and it did the week one too. But nonetheless, I mean, they're beating people, and they're going to, I would say, probably get better and better, you would guess. Although the competition's not going to. They play South Carolina this weekend. That'd be some
South Carolina has no offensive line.
Not much.
Going against Georgia, that does not bode very well.
No, probably not. Arkansas, Kent State, 28-6.
Yeah,
that one again was close.
I saw an Arkansas fan at the Alabama game, and he was watching on his phone. He's like, "We suck," and I was like, "Y'all are fine. I mean, don't But he was like, "We're barely beating that." I don't read as much into that, but I think it's more important for the Arkansas to make a statement just to try and get a foothold. I think that's what he's trying to say.
Well, the same Middle Tennessee State that got obliterated by Alabama rolled into Missouri, and Missouri needed a 23-19 win.
Yeah.
I don't say much for
Missouri. No, it doesn't.
Your Tigers.
No, my Tigers.
Florida, McNeese took care of McNeese 49-7, and South Carolina beat Furman 47-21. So, again, there was some struggles around halftime, but most everybody kind of pulled it out. And I mean,
you could say they were looking ahead, but I don't think they were. They don't need to look anywhere but right in front of them.
I think you're right, spot on there. All right, here's some predictions, Luke. Like you said, not exactly, the grade A week here, but we're going to go with what we got. Minnesota 2-0, at number 20 North Carolina 2-0, who needed overtime to beat Appalachian State this past week. North Carolina is a 7-point favorite. Any chance here for a?
Yeah, I think there is. I mean, look, in kudos to North Carolina, they've now played South Carolina, Appalachian State, now played Minnesota. I mean, those are three very respectable games.
Sure.
And so, I think it's going to be, if they win this, now you got to start paying attention to North Carolina.
I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
Kansas State, number 15 in the country, is a 5-point favorite at Mizzou.
I think that's fair. After what you just told me about Middle Tennessee State.
Yeah, I'm probably picking Kansas State.
Yeah.
That one 11 o'clock on the SEC Network. Washington, number 8, 16-point favorite over now head coachless Michigan State. What happened? What's going on with you, boy, Mel Tucker?
Okay.
Has he coached his last game in Spartanville?
Mark D'Antonio is going to coach, right? Or something like that. I mean,
is he going to coach?
I think he's involved with the coaching now.
Okay.
Okay. I'm really, this whole thing's odd. Apparently, he was having a rather salacious conversation with a rape survivor, right? Okay. Now, according to him, he has the receipts for this, that she was down with it. Like, she was a willing accomplice. Like, this
in a conversation?
In the conversation, like, this is an adult phone physical thing, right? Okay. I have so many questions.
How do receipts prove that?
Well, I mean, he apparently, she kind of admits, okay, yeah, I was just frozen in terror. I didn't say anything. He's like, and he's sort of saying, you had to say something. I got pretty worked up in there. I don't, this whole thing is so weird. I mean, why?
This is the school of Larry Nassar, by the way.
It is. Again, why is it the Big Ten is always involved in things like this? From Penn State to Larry Nassar, there was some stuff at Ohio State. I think there was some stuff at Michigan, if I remember right. I mean, there's just stuff. It's kind of funky. But, yeah,
he's
again.
Suspended without pay? Is that what?
I think he is suspended without pay right now. They've kind of been looking for an out.
Yeah.
This sounds like a pretty good out.
I would guess there's some negotiations going on.
And look, here's the thing. You know, there have been some folks saying, okay, what if, let's just pretend like the woman was a willing participant in this conversation. Does that change your tone? And most of the national media is like, no, it doesn't, because she's a rape survivor and you got to respect and you got to do. And part of me is like, okay, I'm not saying he's right and she's wrong. I don't know what the story is. But if she was a willing participant, and he was just going along
and
like
two adults,
then I think it's two adults doing whatever. And again, you know, there'll be some national media say, no, you don't ever take advantage of a female when you're empowered. I'm like, well, I don't know. Now, something makes
people got to be responsible for their own actions.
Yeah, they do. But
you can't. I'm sorry.
And that goes both ways. I mean, he does too, because if you're him, why are you doing this? And if you are I know why you're doing it, and I get that. But why her? I mean, it's so weird. If she was not a willing participant, they need to throw him under the bus, because this is so bad and tone deaf and god awful. He needs to be in a lot of trouble, or at least fired and probably not employed for football anymore. And he's got plenty of money, so he can retire. I don't feel sorry for him. But my question is, I'm just trying to get to the bottom of this. Everybody immediately wants to say he's an awful human being, and maybe he is. At the same time, if she was sort of egging this on, I mean, does he have an excuse? I mean, it's hard. What you hate to be is him right now, if he's right, because you're like, yes, I had phone sex with this woman, but she was down with it, and everybody's like, she's a rape survivor. He's like, okay, I know I made poor choices on who I have phone sex with, but she was
it's like, we didn't talk about that.
Yeah, but that wasn't the conversation. And it is the stuff that he said that he did, that he admits he did while he was on the phone. You're like,
I don't even want to know.
I know. You're like, okay, and we all knew that's what you were doing, but why do we have to know all this? I mean, look, I just kind of wish this were something that, when things like this come out, I always go, no matter what happens now, Mel Tucker's that guy who did this, no matter if he's right or wrong, right?
Look, get married, have kids, be faithful. All this stuff goes away. Just
is he married?
Stop.
I wondered that. I don't know if he's married or not.
I don't know.
I haven't. I
don't want to know at this point.
I don't want to look too much into this, because
I think we've explained it too much already.
Because in one way you do sort of wonder, like, how does this come up between y'all? Because it seems like it's very odd. Like, either you're really wrong, Mel Tucker, because you sort of put this woman in a horrible position, a woman who's already been through a ton, or you're really right and you're stupid for doing it with somebody who you know has been through something like this before and could be traumatic for her again after the fact. How do you win?
I think any way around, he's dumb.
And also, when you are a coach like this and you're making all the money you can possibly make, hand over fist, poor choice of words, you're making all the money you can make, why would you risk it for something like this? It's like, what was the guy's name that was dating Elizabeth Hurley, and Hugh Grant, and he's dating the universally considered the hottest woman on the planet. I mean, she's up there. She is Wonder Woman. She's Linda Carter to me. I mean, she's a British Linda Carter. And he goes out and finds a prostitute. It's very bizarre behavior.
I would agree.
You got it all, bruh. What are you going for? What's the goal?
I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
What's the prize?
Pittsburgh at West Virginia. Pittsburgh's a 1-point favorite.
You know, I'll say this. When Randy and Brett co-host with you, you don't get these conversations.
Brother, I don't get these conversations anywhere else.
That's why we only talk once a Tuesday.
That's all anybody can stand.
Anyway, Pitt at West Virginia.
Yeah.
Backyard brawl.
I'm going with West Virginia.
It is the battle of who can care less.
They need it more, West Virginia.
Oh, I don't know.
Neil
Pittsburgh
Brown's
got blown out at home this weekend, didn't they?
Yeah, but I don't think they're going to fire him this year.
No, they're not
going to fire Neil Brown this year if he don't win some games.
I know, but I think if you're West Virginia, you really need the laws. I mean, if they beat Pittsburgh's brains in, is that going to make you feel better about Neil Brown?
Well, I'm not going to feel better about it, no. But
yeah.
West Virginia fans, I'm not sure what they feel.
I think you get to a point of, hey, it's just better if – I mean, Auburn's been there with Brian Harsin. Alabama's been there with coaches. By the way –
let's just burn a couch and be done with it.
Yeah. But by the way, with him on it, apparently. So this past weekend, Eugene Asante had a tweet about, last year the coaches had me on the scout team, and this year I'm getting to show what I can do. And he was named Defensive Player of the Week, and kudos for it. And then one of the Harsin girls came back and said, you asked my dad to be on the scout team. And all I could think was, I mean, if I were the Harsins, I'd be like, I took all I could take from Auburn. I don't need to even – if I just never say anything about them again, nobody cares.
Yeah.
Why does anybody – you got a big fat check to not do anything. I would say nobody engage any Auburn anything from now on. I accomplished what I set out to accomplish, which was to get rich without ever working again. And that's what he did.
Yep.
Why is anybody in his family talking about Auburn?
I have no – and if there's ever been a football player – that said, no, I don't want to start. I'd rather play on the scout team. Then I will walk out of this room. Got to take a break. We'll be back with more right after this.
Scraping the bottom
At
of the barrel.
C&T Electric, our clients are our priority. For the safety and security of your family and home, our technicians are professionally trained, drug tested, background checked, and wear uniforms with name tags. We're proud to have served the Elk City, Dadeville, and Lake Martin areas for the past 10 years. Give us a call at 256-234-0007 for all your electrical service and repair needs, or visit us on the web at www.cntelectricllc.com and spell out the word "and."
Have you met your local Farmers Insurance agent, Patrick Holina? He proudly serves Tallapoosa County and Alexander City families and businesses and is ready to review your existing policies or provide a no-obligation quote today. Call the Holina Agency at 256-234-0037 or stop in today at 704 Commerce Drive to get smarter about your insurance. Again, that's the Holina Agency, 256-234-0037.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
The food at Oscar's Cafe makes your mouth water. At Oscar's, enjoy great tasting catfish, or maybe you're just in the mood for one of Oscar's fresh salads. Even kids know the place for a fine meal is Oscar's with a great kids menu. Oscar's also has great tasting burgers full of backyard flavor. So come on out to Oscar's Cafe for great food and homegrown hospitality. We're located on Highway 49 South in Dadeville, just before the Blue Creek Bridge. And remember, it's all fun and games till there's only one cheese ball left.
Life is a sequence of little successes. The story of my Southern Union success began the day I walked on campus, making new friends, mastering a new skill, reaching a personal goal, the encore performance, the first date, the internship, and now, soon, the dream job. That's the story of my Southern Union success. Register for classes and get ready to watch your Southern Union story come to life.
Let Riverbank and Trust open doors for you. Whether you're purchasing land, a lot by the lake, or building or buying a home, begin with Tallapoosa County's loan experts. They'll guide you through the entire process, providing local decision-making, prompt responses, and the best real estate loan solutions for your unique needs. And in most cases, Riverbank and Trust can close your loan in 30 days or less, and they'll walk by your side every step of the way. It's all just part of the Riverbank and Trust difference. We invite you to experience it for yourself.
Lake Area Realty specializes in Lake Martin real estate. They can help simplify your next real estate purchase or sell and have helped many home buyers and sellers through the area buy and sell real estate with precision. Lake Area Realty utilizes powerful marketing tools and knowledge of the lake to help you with your next move. Call your local hometown agency today, Lake Area Realty, at 256-825-4800. That's 256-825-4800. Lake Area Realty, helping you find your way home.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Just a couple more segments left in tonight's show. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us. We are looking at some games coming up this Saturday. Georgia Tech at Ole Miss. Ole Miss is a 20-point favorite, 19.5.
I'm tempted to take Georgia Tech here, but they're not very good.
Surely they can cover that, though.
You would think. I mean, I think that people are going to be suckered into Ole Miss just because of what they did to Tulane this past weekend. Again, that was a little bit of fool's gold.
Yeah, I think you're right. That one's 6:30 on the SEC Network. South Carolina at Georgia, 27.5. Can they cover
I don't think it's enough.
You don't think? South Carolina notoriously has given Georgia trouble.
And actually more so in Athens than in South Carolina. So, I mean, I guess, never say never, but I'm saying never.
Yeah. LSU is a 9.5-point favorite at Mississippi State, 11 o'clock.
Call me a fool. I would take Mississippi State.
Straight up or the points?
No, it's for the points.
Okay.
But it wouldn't shock me if this game were tight.
I could see that. Tennessee at Florida. Tennessee only a 6.5-point favorite. They've won like once in 30 years down there in Gainesville.
They're begging
Something
you
crazy.
to take Tennessee.
Yeah.
6.5 is always this line that you're like, oh my God, all I got to do is win by a touchdown. Oh my God. They're begging you to take Tennessee. So I would say take Florida, but take it only because you have a gambling addiction. Because there's no reason to bet on this.
Look, a Florida team last year went up to Tennessee, gave them all they can handle in Knoxville. So now this is a different Florida team.
Eventually Florida's going to play well, too.
You would think eventually.
And you got to think, too.
I mean, you got Fred Mertz back there. I mean,
who's played like Ethel on occasion. Yeah, okay. I'll go Florida in the points, but they lose the game.
Okay.
Boy, how does this change the outlook of everything if Florida does beat them, though?
Oh, I mean, people look at the SEC and go, who cares? Georgia's going to win the East.
Yeah.
I don't know who's going to win the West.
Doesn't matter who wins the West.
Doesn't really matter because there's not really a great team among them.
That's right.
That's what they're going to say. Samford at Auburn. I don't think I'm sure they do lines for.
There'll be a line, but
it's not like
Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Alabama is a 32-point favorite on the road to South Florida. Can they cover that?
I mean, I think they can. In fact,
they try to?
I'd probably say Alabama will cover. I think they need to try and cover to try and get some confidence again behind this team. But I don't think it matters. I think Alabama wins big, but I don't think it's a big deal. I bet you there are maybe more Alabama fans than South Florida fans there. There are going to be a lot of Alabama fans that are going. It's in Tampa, and the great thing is I know a group's going there like, look, yeah, we were going because you go to Alabama game, the next day the Bucks play. Mm. And I think they play the Bears. I mean, and the Bucks are 1-0, so and the Bears look kind of god awful in that first game. So Bucks could be going 2-0. It's a nice little trip. I mean, both in the same stadium.
And the Bucks got what's his name playing quarterback, kid from Oklahoma.
Yeah,
Taylor. What's his name?
Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield. Yeah. Tyler Taylor Baker. There you go. All right, we got 3. We only got a minute or 2 left here. We'll come back and finish this out in the next segment. I'll give you the choice which one we do now, and we'll come back. Brian De Palma, great director. George Jones, one of the all-time
country
greats.
western star.
Tommy Shaw, lead singer, and from Montgomery, Alabama, lead singer of Styx.
Ooh, I'm going that one.
9/11, 9/12. These people were born. You're going Tommy Shaw?
Tommy Shaw.
Styx, Come Sail Away.
The Eric Cartman version might be better.
Eric Cartman?
From South Park?
I am aware, yeah.
I'll play it for you in the break.
Thank you. Mr. Roboto.
That's wonderful.
Blue Collar Man. Are you familiar with that one?
Listen, how many knows Domor Arigato, Mr. Roboto?
Everybody knows that one.
Everybody knows how to say thank you in Japanese now.
They do. Babe.
Babe's good.
Too Much Time on
Too
My
Much
Hands.
Time on My Hands is awesome.
Very
God, that's
good.
a great song. All of them are good. All of them are classics. All of them are borderline yacht rock, not quite. Like maybe getting on the dock, getting onto the yacht, but not really yacht rock. I just love them all. It's a shame to rank those.
Those are great. I think, which one is it? There's one that it was boat on the water. Is that what it is? Something you remember that?
Boat on the water.
No, not that.
Okay.
But you got Tommy Shaw playing the mandolin, and you got Dennis DeLong on a what you call
Dennis DeLong.
What is that his name?
I don't know. This sounds like a
I think that is his name. On an accordion. It's it's so cool. But anyway, we'll come back and we'll look at some of these other ones.
What are you talking about?
You just got to see it to believe it. We'll be back with more if you can stand it right after this.
76% of nurses say they went into the profession because they wanted to help patients. No matter the reason you decided to become a nurse, you have all the tools needed to advance your degree at Jacksonville State University. Our Master's in Nursing program is now offered fully online and can be completed in less than 2 years. You can customize a flexible course schedule so you can receive your advanced education degree all while working on the front line. JSU Nursing, your opportunity to advance your career and serve your community.
This fall, nobody beats Martin's Sports Pub for Lake Martin's best sports experience. Martin's all-star lineup of cold beverages and pub fare food can't be beat, with the region's best wings, burgers, and signature dishes. At Martin's, you always have the best seat in the house for all college and NFL on our multiple 360 view TV and huge projection screen with surround sound. See our pigskin scoreboard weekly to win big money and let our all-pro teams serve it all to you at the place we all win. Martin's, Highway 34, Dadeville. Satterfield Outdoor Living is Lake Martin's trusted friend for your outdoor land and leisure needs. We're the region's authorized Skag mower dealer for residential and commercial lawns and offer all the small engine accessories you need with top lines of Steel, Echo, Shindaiwa, Husqvarna, and Metabo products that can tame any landscape. Satterfield is also your grill headquarters with Big Green Egg Grill, and our pros service everything in-house and back up all sales. Get the Satterfield Outdoor difference on Highway 280 right across from Tallapoosa Ford.
At Russell Medical, we're proud of our exceptional nurses, like Nurse Brandy Worthy. Brandy represents the selfless, compassionate clinical leader patients expect and coworkers admire. Brandy was recently honored with the Nightingale Award for Nursing Excellence for her high standards, sound judgment, and caring manner. Her passion for her profession inspires us all.
Being a nurse is not just what you do, it's who you are. I'm proud to be a part of the nursing team at Russell Medical. We are the link between all hospital services, providing you with exceptional, personalized care.
If you're tired of the same old, and you're hungry for something really good, then it's time to go to JR's Sports Bar and Grill. JR's has the best fingers and wings around, and their menu is loaded with appetizers, burgers, salads, and so much more. Follow JR's on their Facebook to keep up with their live music events and drink specials. And if after a long day you just want to stay in, remember JR's delivers. Call in your order at 256-329-2328. JR Sports Bar and Grill, 145 Alabama Street in Alexander City.
Hey, it's Brett Pritchard, and I'm here to tell you all about Sims Foods, who you know better as Wickles Pickles. Wickles Pickles, that 90-year-old recipe, wickedly delicious. Relish, okra, and pickles. From Saturday sandwiches, tailgate snacks, to holiday dinners with your family and friends. From their family to yours. Wickles Pickles, those wickedly delicious pickles.
Wickles Pickles, wickedly delicious pickles.
Welcome back, everyone, to the final segment of Sports Blitz Live. On this Tuesday evening, Andy and Luke here with you, taking you up to 9 o'clock. Brian De Palma, born yesterday in 1940. Tommy Shaw, by the way, born in 1953 yesterday. Great director, The Untouchables.
Oh, it was great.
Scarface.
Great.
Carlito's Way. Carlito Berganta.
Never saw it.
You never saw it? Seriously?
Seriously.
Man, that's really, really good.
I know I need to see
Al Pacino. Yeah, you got to see that. I don't want to ruin it for you, but, well, Mission Impossible, the first one. And how about the Carrie? 1978 Carrie.
Wow, all those are great.
Or you throw in Casualties of War if you're,
That's
I don't know
good.
if you're a fan.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
All of those are good.
They are very good. But Untouchables is. I mean, I know Scarface, some people would go with that number one, but Man, the
Scarface
Untouchables
is good.
so good.
Scarface is pretty long, though.
It is long.
Untouchables is great because, you know, we can all kind of relate. But I
There's
think,
some great characters, you know.
God, who all was all in that? Kevin Costner.
Oh, yeah.
Who else?
Well, I mean, Sean Connery.
Sean Connery, yeah. God, I forgot he was in there.
Yeah. What's Andy?
Andy Garcia.
Andy Garcia.
Ah, this is just a good movie.
Very, very
Those
good.
are all, again.
How about Robert De Niro?
They're all tied at one. Again.
Scarface, I just love. That is
That's okay.
so.
She'll be back.
That scene, you know, when he comes there and he's been shot, and he's sitting there, he's got the gun in his hand, and Frank, he set it up, and he knows he set it up, and he knows, but he's just kind of playing it out.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know, we'll get these guys.
Yeah.
And he had got the guy to call him, and he's like, I'm going to answer that, Frank. That's just, that's so good.
It is a good movie.
All right, George Jones.
Famer country
All
western
time,
star.
one of the all-time greats. If drinking don't kill me, her memory will.
These shouldn't even be songs. They should just be one-liners.
Who's going to fill their shoes?
I feel like there's another part to that song.
There's many parts of that, but Marty, Hank, and Lefty. I could remember them right here with me. Choices. I've had choices since the day that I was born. There were voices told me right from wrong. If I had listened, I wouldn't be here today, living and dying with the choices that I've made.
That's poetry.
That is good. A picture of me. Have you ever been through a garden with nothing was growing? Ever
It's not a
been
garden, then.
ever stood by a river when nothing was flowing? If you've ever looked up at the sky with no blue, you've seen a picture of me without you. That's how
That is
that's how I
great.
feel about you, Luke.
God, I've got to listen to more George Jones.
I'm telling you, it's good. And of course, He Stopped Loving Her Today.
He Stopped Loving Her Today is like
It's the number one country song of all time. There's
it
no
probably
question.
is.
Yeah.
God, I might have to listen to it on the way home now.
Yeah. Anything George Jones, I can listen
I mean, they're all
to.
number one.
It's great.
In fact, everything you've listed is all tied for number one.
I think this is
one of your best.
It's a
ever.
unique night. Yeah. this
Because
is
clearly, usually I have some that
You hate.
I hate. Also, I have some that I'm not sure if they're alive or dead.
That's true.
I told
George
somebody the other day.
Jones, alive or dead?
Oh, he's dead.
Yeah, he's dead.
Okay. I was
Tommy Shaw, alive or dead?
dead.
He is alive. Brian De Palma, alive
Now,
or dead?
all right, you 40. He's alive.
Yeah, he's alive.
I told somebody the other day we do this game Alive or Dead. He goes, "That's the worst game I've ever heard." I said, "I know, but it does." I said, and I feel terrible, but like I'm trying to get them right.
Yeah.
And then then you end up hurting.
What does that
people's
say? It's the most popular segment we do.
It is.
I don't know I don't know if that says more about us or about the audience, but
We need to do. We need to lead with that more often.
yeah, boy, kick it off right off the bat, huh?
Just straighten morbidity.
I think we need to do more Mel Tucker segments.
Speak careers that are dead or alive.
Yeah, there you go. That's pretty good. All right, anything before we close it out? Any grievances or anything?
Nah, I've said
there?
too much already.
That's right. This has been a rant kind of an evening, but don't worry, it's going to get better. And we're just getting started on this year, so still a lot more to unfold. All right, that's going to wrap it up for us. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us. We'll be back with you next Tuesday, same time, same channel. Be sure to join me for the Auburn Blitz tomorrow from 12 to 1. It'll be me and JJ. For Luke Robinson, I'm Andy Graham. So long for now, everybody. We'll talk again soon.
Have you met your local Farmers Insurance agent, Patrick Holina? He proudly serves Tallapoosa County and Alexander City families and businesses and is ready to review your existing policies or provide a no-obligation quote today. Call the Holina Agency at 256-234-0037 or stop in today at 704 Commerce Drive to get smarter about your insurance. Again, that's the Holina Agency, 256-234-0037.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
Farmers and Merchants Bank of Dadeville is building a foundation of strength and trust in the entire Lake Martin community. With our modern branch in Dadeville and caring, attentive staff, we've established Farmers and Merchants Bank as a reliable friend to your banking needs. Whether it's just a savings or checking account or any commercial, auto, or real estate loan, Farmers has local decision making to build a relationship with you and your needs. Farmers and Merchants Community Bank. Strength, service, community.